Hopefully it stays like that. Okay. So, I'm not sure. I'm going to turn this other light off for now because I don't know if that glare in the back right there is bothering you guys. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Hopefully it's better. Anyway, some people ask me about this carnivore diet. So tonight it's going to be nothing about child abuse. It's going to be nothing about abuse in general. If anything, it's going to be about dietary abuse, and that's kind of where I'm going to go with it. But in the meantime, I'm going to get my dinner started. I've got this big giant 3-pound steak and some organic eggs. The best steak that you can buy, the best nutrients that you can put in your body is obviously grass-fed, grass-finished. It's higher in omegas. It's got more nutrient density to it, and you're not really worried about all the fillers and the byproduct of animals having to digest and process grain. But at the same time, it's better than the standard American diet. It's better than a vegan diet, and it's by far better than just some anti-nutritious meal, because it's helped me heal a lot. So a lot of people ask me why I say that the carnivore diet and the keto diet has helped me with my PTSD. Once I started stepping away from a lot of the processed, low nutrient, mass-produced foods, and I started going to whole foods, stuff like bioavailable nutrients in animal products. Eggs, it's a superfood. Steak, beef, bison, it's a superfood. It's got extremely high amino acid content and fatty acid content that the body can use for a number of things. Connective tissues, any type of muscle and stuff that has to be built in the body. These are all amino acids and fatty acids that add in aiding in building those muscles. Everything in your body is made of fat and protein. I mean, it's a fact. There's nothing in your body that's made of glucose. There are your organs that need glucose, but your body is more than capable of making its own glucose, just on a demand-driven process called gluconeogenesis. It's where it takes the glycerol backbone of fat, or dietary protein, or skeletal protein if you're in a fasted state and you don't have a lot of fat on your body, and it actually creates its own glucose. So sugar is like the only food that your body doesn't need, that it can make on its own. It cannot make its own fatty acids. It cannot make its own amino acids. You need to have a dietary source of those coming in. And the only way that you're going to get the most bioavailable, abundant, strong form of them is through animal products. I'm sorry, the medical industry is completely wrong when they alienate animal products as the main precursor to heart attacks, cardiovascular disorders, arteriosclerosis, and stuff like that. That only comes in the presence of inflammation, and a lot of the times inflammation is ingested through the highly processed, sugary, starchy, carb type foods that you eat. So at the end of the day, your CRP levels, your C-reactive protein levels, your inflammation levels, they don't increase on a very simple, basic carnivore diet. So what I'm going to make for dinner tonight is I'm going to make Angus roast. So I got a nice smoky skillet going right now. And people ask me, how has the carnivore diet helped with the PTSD? Well, once I started losing weight, I started feeling better about myself. I started getting a new type of fuel brewing. Basically, the fuel that I began to use was wish I could get in front of this light better, but there's one light in the center of the kitchen here, and there's one light in the center there. So anything in between with these lamp fixtures that project light up, it doesn't let the light come down like that unless it's directly down like the one above me. But once my brain started operating off more clean fuel and not having so much sugar and so much inflammation all the time, maybe I need to move back over here because it seemed like it was better. I need to get one of those like camera filter things to put on the front of the phone. But once I started practicing more of a clean, keto-based, carnivore-based, and then eventually carnivore-based diet, it was so simplified for me. I started losing weight. I started feeling good. My inflammation markers went down. My cholesterol and stuff all came in check. I was on the verge of becoming a diabetic. I was right at like 6.7, 6.8. So they were like, you know, this is diabetes, dude. Like, you need to check this now, or else something's gonna happen. Like, you're in the early stages of it, so you need to chill out with like all the junk and stuff that you're eating. Find something to do. If you're not gonna listen to the nutritionist, find something that's gonna make this work. So I started keto. Started losing all kinds of weight. Started feeling good. Brain started to wake up with all the ketone fuel and stuff like that. So that was my initiation into carnivore, and the healing process began. But then when I got rid of all the cruciferous vegetables and stuff like that and went straight carnivore, it was simplified for me. There's nothing that you have to worry about. There's macros. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Just eat good quality fatty meat, and that's it. Not lean meat, good quality fatty meat. That was the key. And it holds me over. I can eat dinner tonight, and I'm not hungry again until tomorrow because I've eaten so much dense food in one sitting. Everything throughout the day is simplified for me. I'm not worried about being stressed trying to figure out the next meal, or counting macros, or eating 4 times a day or 5 times a day. All that BS that's complete nonsense that you do not need to do. It does not speed up your metabolism. You got to think of it like this. The misconception of eating multiple times throughout the day. What are you constantly doing every time you eat food? Releasing insulin, sugar levels go up, then your body has to start processing, right? So you're working your hormones, you're digesting food, and you're packing away anything that your body doesn't need to use at that time. So if we think about doing that all the time, when does the body ever have time to repair itself? 50% of the time it's spent doing activity, and 50% of your energy is expended processing food, eating throughout the day, the entire day. And that's not what you want. You want to give your body a break. You want to give it that feast and famine time period. And Chris Kresser used to say, he would say, feed the beast, right? And part of that beast is not eating 4 or 5 times a day, because that's a huge misconception. And there's a lot of medical people that used to watch this channel that used to argue with me in the past. And then they started doing it for themselves, and then they're like, you know what? You're right, dude. I mean, I completely had it wrong. Eating throughout the entire day is just constantly taxing your body, digesting things, hormones, all the time. It doesn't work. It's not a good idea. So, what ended up happening with the whole entire situation of me trying to heal, this diet worked for me. My brain started to function better. I wasn't worried about things as much. I noticed I was in a completely calm state all the time. And it just worked. It just functioned like I needed it to in my lifestyle. So the PTSD started to change. The medication, I threw it out. I didn't need to focus on so much of the other stuff. So a lot of the trauma and stuff that happened to me in my life, I started to deal with it a lot better because I simplified the main thing that I was having to worry about during the day, and that was my health, my diet. Once I simplified that, and I didn't realize, I got labs and stuff done, and nothing showed to be an adverse effect to my health, I was in. There was no reason to change it. And a lot of people, they're like, well, I did the keto diet. I did the carnivore diet. I did it for, 4 days, and I couldn't do it. I started getting headaches. I did it for 2 days, and I didn't notice a difference. It's not how it works. You know, a lot of people say this is a lifestyle change for a reason. It's because it's something that has to be done long term. A lot of the reason people get headaches and cramping and stuff like that in the beginning of a carnivore or keto diet is because you end up depleting all of your electrolytes and your minerals. When you don't have sugar in your body to help retain and keep you bloated and hold all those minerals and stuff in, and you stop eating sugar, inflammatory type foods, your body releases everything. So you need more of what you were originally eating mineral wise. So, I'm not scared of salt. I'm not scared of potassium. I'm not scared of any of that stuff. And a lot of people that start this diet, they realize I don't even have to count all that stuff no more. I don't have to be careful around sodium. My blood pressure is not high anymore. My health conditions have completely reversed because I don't have those foods in my life anymore that were making me retain all that stuff the doctor's telling me to stay away from. So it's a complete change, It's a change of state overall. I had somebody ask me before I jumped on here, have you ever experienced anything about derealization? And it's a condition where you feel like disconnected from the world. It's almost like you're there, but you're not there. Like you want to be part of somebody's life, but you almost feel like you can't be part of somebody's life. Derealization is when you're living in a body and you're basically living your day-to-day activity, but you never feel connected to anything. There's almost like something's always in front of you, stopping that complete connection with that next person or your family members or your work, family and stuff like that. The fact of the matter is derealization changes. You start to become more connected if you actually realize that there's an issue and you push through that. You try to make those relationships. In the beginning, it can feel really uncomfortable, but you can work through that. They make therapy for that. There's counselors for that if that's what you choose to do. The fact of the matter is you network with people, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you feel like you're not there. You ask questions and you try to tell people, ask them, am I making an impact in your life? Do I make you feel happy? That reassurance of you getting those answers from people that are around you is what's going to help you get through that derealization process so you start feeling connected with people again. It's a true thing. People go through life and they just feel like they're just eating, shitting, and breathing. But that's it. There's no connection there. They have no personal life with anybody. They don't feel loved by people and stuff like that. Or they feel like there's always a barrier between them and their next relationship. So understanding that practicing these skills every single day. And if you don't know those skills, reach out to me. I'll have conversations with you online. I'll call you up on the phone and stuff like that. I'll send you text messages and stuff to try to help you get through that barrier of feeling like you can't communicate. But that's a process that you individually have to change yourself. I mean, that's not anything that really anybody's going to be able to help. You need to know that there's an issue, identify what you can do to possibly work through that by actually communicating and being in people's lives, having positive people around that make you feel important, that want to be a part of that circle of yours that makes you feel like you're important to them. And that concept of derealization starts to change, but it's about filling yourself with those positive people that understand that there's a problem. And don't be afraid to admit it. Don't be afraid to feel like you're disconnected from everything and you're just looking for a little help to move through that barrier so you can get better. Admitting that you know there's a problem there and then asking for help to fix that problem and actually being a better social person is what helps people get through that derealization process. It's one of the only ways to heal from it. You can't sit back. There's no medications for it. There's some counseling for it and stuff like that. But you can't just sit back and say, I'm just going to let it consume me and take me over. You got to ask for help. You got to fill people and put people in your circle that want to talk to you and they want to make a change. That's the only way that I can see. And I'm not a professional. That's the only way that I can see to get through that. And that's how I fixed a lot of my issues. Hot tamale, hot tamale. Let me see. See, keto and carnivore really does work for people. They just don't want to believe it because social media still, even to this day, talks crap about it. And people on social media that talk about keto and carnivore and it's going to make you sick and it's going to do all these bad things to you, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just people that don't want you to do anything to that extreme, in their eyes, extreme, and they don't even really know what it is. They've never been trained in it. They've never tried it. They've never experienced it. There's no real studies on it by standard medical. So for them to talk bad about it and not know it shows a lot about the person that they are. Keto and carnivore can actually change, the majority of society's life if they just give it a shot. And they actually do it the right way and not just, go off the rail for weeks at a time with just eating standard American food and then go back and do keto for a week and then get off. And then go back do keto for a week and then get off. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. And carnivore is not going to work either. You can't do that stuff. If you're going to make a commitment to it, you got to make a commitment to it. It's something that you need to be at a spot in your life where you're ready to change. A lot of people, they're not ready to change until they have life-threatening illnesses, conditions. And that's the bad part. A lot of people wait until a limb is ready to be removed, or they've got diabetes, or they have, some kind of, condition where Hashimoto's, or, women with their reproductive issues and stuff like that. They don't change any of their lifestyle until it's there, and then they will realize by that time it's going to take a long time to recover, and sometimes it's too late. Don't wait to start doing the right thing. Should have let this pan get hotter. But it's alright. They all cook. Small counters make for almost no workspace. Ah. Mm-hmm. Let's move over here now. So people asked me to talk about carnivore, and that's what this video is about my diet, about how it's impacted my life, how it's helped me with my medical conditions, that now I have no medical conditions, thank God. Okay, that salt is pretty much out. I gotta get some salt. So, it's helped me because it just simplified my life. It changed everything. It started helping me heal, being a diabetic, joints, back pain all the time, not being able to function properly. I felt like I was an old man, at 30, 31 years old. Yeah, your doctor really doesn't know what they're talking about, and honestly, I'm not talking trash about your doctor, but that's bad information on your doctor's part, because this is not even a studied diet. They have people in this field that study it. Your doctor doesn't know about carnivore. I can tell you that for sure, and it's no disrespect to your doctor, but that's what a doctor's supposed to say. That's the facts. That's what they're supposed to say because that's what the medical industry wants them to say, but it's not even close to the truth. If that was the case, everybody would be dying from it, and that's not. You don't get diabetes from eating animal products. You get diabetes from years of eating sweets and treats and breads and pastas and eating tons of processed food along with animal products. This is delicious. Mm-mm-mm. So it's just a simple diet. I mean, you can't go wrong with just animal products, fat, protein, water. If you want to drink some tea or something like that, there's some people that do that as well. But most really serious people on the carnivore diet, they don't even do that. It's water, salt, meat, and organs. That's it. And when I say meat, I mean animal products. Animal protein. Fish, chicken, lamb, bison, those types of things. And for me, a staple, because eggs have like every vitamin and mineral that you can possibly. It's a superfood. I mean, it's something that you can live off of. Eggs is something that you can literally eat every day exclusively, and you'd be completely fine. It's got omegas in it. It's got everything in it. So it just changed my life. I asked my doctor at the VA to stop giving me the PTSD medication because I didn't want to take that anymore. It was causing some other issues. One of the side effects of the PTSD medication was you couldn't function downstairs. Literally, you couldn't function. Like it would mess with you sometimes. And I was like, man, I don't want anything to do with that. I want to be done with this. I don't want to take the medication no more. I just want to focus on my diet, and I want to heal that way. And sure enough, the healing started in my gut first, and then just overall. My brain woke up. I stopped being so depressed all the damn time. I stopped wanting to be so antisocial. I started feeling better about myself. And then here, years later, even though I'm not where I'm supposed to be, where you would think, you'll find a lot of people on the carnivore and keto diet, they try to compare themselves to other people. Well, I've been doing this for 3 years and I lost 156 pounds and I'm skinny as a rail and blah, 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 blah. That's great. That's good for you. I'm not on your journey and I'm not taking a leaf from your page. This is mine. So it's one of those things where people like to criticize other people. Oh, you're not doing that right, or you're not doing this right. And to an extent, they may be right, when they criticize other people. But that's not going to change that person's life. A lot of people like to play different YouTube and carnivore and keto people against each other. And it's stupid. It's really, really stupid. So that's why I got out of doing a lot of the interviews and working with other people from other groups and stuff like that, because there was just so much drama and so much petty stuff going on. I was like, I'm just going to do this on my own, and I'm going to teach people on my own, and I'm going to network and be friends, on my own, and not have to deal with so much other political bullcrap, or groupie type environment stuff. It's not something that I like. And there's a lot of fake keto doctors that don't really care about people, so that's another thing as well. I am pretty much out of an explanation why I wanted to do the carnivore diet, or why I do the carnivore diet. I'm at that point now where I've pretty much explained everything to give you guys basically an overview of why and what it's helped me with. Now if you have any questions for me, you can message me here. Some people wanted to see what I ate, and I eat steak and eggs pretty much every night almost if I can. Sometimes I'll switch it up and have chicken or lamb or something like that, but mainly steak and eggs every night, and I try to get it on sale, and I buy a bunch of it when it's on sale so I don't run out. That's pretty much my life. That's my carnivore diet. It's pretty simple. No need to add anything else. Some people say, can you add spices? You can if you want to. Some people say, can you drink tea? You can if you want to. Raw milk. Raw milk is a part of the carnivore diet. Regular milk is a part of the carnivore diet. But remember, the reason you're doing the carnivore diet is because you're trying to eliminate all of the foods that could possibly cause issues in your life. So when you start getting back into that processed milk instead of raw milk, and you're drinking highly processed milk, there could be an issue there. I love the taste of raw milk. Regular milk, I don't mind the taste of it, but milk from the cow, I absolutely love it. It's delicious. There's a completely different taste to it, totally. Grass-fed beef, absolutely love it. Does have a different taste than conventional beef. It's got a more sweeter taste that you have to build up like a tolerance to. I'm gonna eat my food so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me. But I just basically want to do a basic overview of what my whole thing with the carnivore diet was, why I do it, and why I continue to do it even though I don't lose tons of weight like everybody else does. It's just good for me. It's good for my brain. It's good for my lifestyle. It just makes me feel good. And that's why I do it. That's it. We cooked the steak. We cooked the eggs. We talked about everything. I'm going to sit here and eat my meal and put the presidential debate on and watch these yahoos attack each other and make no sense at all. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you. I love y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up, man. We're starting to get some good support here. I started my own private. It's public right now, but it'll go private. Basically, abuse, networking, recovery, chat. Facebook group on Facebook. So if you guys aren't a part of that and you want to be a part of that, it's in my last video I put up. It's pinned to the top of the page. Put it up this morning, and we've already got like I think 10 to 15 members or something in there that have been waiting to be part of a little community where we can all talk. See, this channel's a little bit different. I'm not about publicizing a lot of stuff. My channel's small. You know, I only got about 4,900 subscribers here. A lot of these channels that have 30,000 plus subscribers, they do that for the views and stuff like that. That's their whole goal. I do this because this is my life. This is real. I don't really gain anything by this. I've got a great job, and I spend a lot of my time at that job. You see how late I get on here. I get paid very well to do what I do. YouTube's not a monetization type thing for me. I typically take this money that I make and I turn around and give it back to other people anyway, or I use it to put towards certain videos to actually get them out there to help people and stuff like that. So it's not anything that I have to brag about. I don't make that much money on here at all. Some of these people, they can make $1,000 on one video in a month. Me, I think when I started, I made like $100 the first month. The second month, I made like $105. The amount of hours and time and stuff that I spend on here, it's nothing. It's really nothing. Now that the channels went from, I don't know, 2,500, 2,000 people at the time. I think the last time Google paid anything at all, it was like $230 or something like that. You know, when I travel for these stories, the amount of times I break things and stuff like that, the money doesn't do anything for me. I turn around and I put it right back into the channel, or just up until about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, I was buying people nice dish sets and I was sending it to their house, or I would send out gift cards and stuff like that and just take everything that I made on this channel and give it right back to people. It wasn't about up until about 5 or 6 months ago when I quit doing that because I have to focus more on work than anything, and that was taking a lot of time out of my schedule. But literally, I was doing random number generators and kind of picking the top people that left comments and everything else that helped really keep this channel active, and sending a few things to those people. But I've backed off on that a lot lately because I don't really have time to go do a lot of other things. I'm trying to focus more on work and really focusing on this child abuse stuff. And just like last night, where I sat over 3 hours trying to dig into this and look through articles and pull up information and stuff, it gets exhausting. It becomes very, very tiring. I was up until like 1:30 in the morning or something last night doing this, and it's exhausting. That's it. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna eat my food. You guys wanted me to explain why I do the carnivore diet and basically what it is. That's the gist of it. It's not explained like I could have explained it. But you didn't ask for all the nitty-gritty stuff that goes along with it, because if that's the case, I'm going to be on here for an hour or more. That's the gist of why I do the carnivore diet and how I do it. Again, thank you all. Be blessed. Love you. Have a great night. Let's do this again soon.